Hey guys, it's the start of the month, so it's time for me to do my update on my 2022 commitments. I do commitments rather than resolutions or whatever as a way of sort of mentally psyching me into the right space, really. And I do these videos because it keeps me accountable to myself more than anyone else, because I don't think many people watch these. My commitments this year are under two headings, the first of which is creative. The first commitment under the heading of creative is to do bullet journaling each month. So this is my bullet journal. I've been doing it for a few months now. And now on to my spreads for January. I decided on a superhero theme for this month, hence the Spidey quote on the cover page and the attempt at an Avengers logo-esque title page. I had been using colouring pencils to fill in spreads before this month, but they kept bleeding onto the opposite pages when I pressed down, so I intended to get some good colouring pens for this, which I am yet to acquire, hence this being unfinished. My calendar design has 5 DC villains and 6 Marvel villains in jail cells in the spaces I had available, with Black Manta, the Riddler, Bane, General Zod, and Poison Ivy being up at the top here, and Green Goblin, Doctor Doom, the Juggernaut, the Abomination, Baron Zemo, and Mystique being down at the bottom here. I also always have a goals page with specific things I want to accomplish on it, which this month took the form of Batman's utility belt. Most of these I'll talk about later in the video, but I also had reading on it as well. As I had the goal of writing this month, I added a tracker for that in the form of this skyscraper that I was going to colour in the windows of, but because of the lack of pens, never did. Moving on, I count my weeks Monday to Sunday, so I had a weekend that was effectively its own week here, and I based it on the Fantastic Four because the 4 boxes and the fact that the FF are Marvel's first family. I usually try and find a quote of the week to note down, but I couldn't come up with one this week. Week 2 was based around the Justice League, and I quite like how the Week 2 banner turned out on the first page, with especially the little star in the middle. The heroes homaged here are the first 9 members of the Justice League, obviously, with Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Batman, the Atom, the Flash, and Green Arrow. Week 3 was based on the X-Men, but was specifically a mix of characters from several eras that I like or found a way to make vaguely visually interesting. So, Cyclops, Jean Grey as the Phoenix, Legion, Professor X's son, for those of you who aren't aware of him, the Dazzler, Jubilee, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Iceman, and Wolverine, who I quite enjoyed making the smallest one because they really made him tallest actor despite being the shortest character. It's weird. Week 4 was based on the Defenders from the comics, who are one of the wackiest mismatched teams out there. I didn't do the best perspective in the logo, but it still kind of works. So we have Doctor Strange, Daredevil, Valkyrie, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Hulk, Ghost Rider, Hellcat, and Silver Surfer. Now, Doctor Strange and Hulk have been Defenders at least as much, if not more, than they've been Avengers, so don't come at me, just don't. Week 5 was an Avengers week, with some fairly obvious picks here. Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, Thor, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, The Vision, and The Wasp. Week 6 was just the one day, so I went with one of my favourite solo heroes, Invincible, and just really turned the page into his costume. This will look really good when I eventually colour this all in. Finally, I have my monthly stats page, which was based on the logo for The Incredibles, which we had been doing a lot with in December, so they were on my mind. I think it was a pretty good set of spreads, so I'm pretty happy with it. The second commitment under the heading of creative was to make my videos more cohesive and organised, with a full schedule when I'm more stable in general. And I don't know about whether I really managed to make them more cohesive yet. It's still a bit of a work in progress. It's getting there, I think. But I'm really needing to make like a new channel trailer and stuff like that. So it's getting there. I managed to do enough videos over the course of the month. I'd set my videos as being 4 or 5, and I think I did 5 if I remember right. Depending on the ones that, like, at the start of the month there were a couple that were like from December. So the third commitment under the heading of creative is to work on a creative project monthly. Writing, filming, etc. You know, something. And I'd set myself the project of finishing my NaNoWriMo novel and editing it. And I never really got started in January. It just never really manifested. I wanted to, but the empty writing tracker rather implies that it just didn't happen. So that was rather irritating that I just never got sorted out with it. Hopefully, I managed to get some work on that sometime eventually, but it's not going to be February's one, I'll tell you that much now. The second heading for my commitments this year is health and life. It kind of fits what I'm trying for here. So the first commitment under the heading of health and life is to exercise a minimum of once a week. I tend to do the 7-minute workout on Monday, Wednesday and Friday mornings, and I had 13 of those over the course of January, and I exercised 12 times, which means that I only missed one opportunity on my normal sort of schedule for exercising. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Overall, it's not a bad thing. I'm still hoping to get some other bits of exercise like built into my routine, but they're not happening yet. The second commitment under the heading of health and life is to have a social engagement in some way, shape or form once a week minimum. And I went through the bullet journal and have kept a note of things as they've gone on in terms of social events. So the first proper week of January, I went for a walk with my uncle. The second proper week of January, I went for a walk with my friend Gregor, and then we went and had dinner with my parents. Me and Jamie, not me and Gregor. The third proper week, I went for a walk with my friend Lachlan, and then me and Jamie went and did a John Carter RPG with my uncle and aunt and their social group. And then the last proper week of January, went for a walk with Gregor, had dinner with my parents, did some D&D stuff. I did a session 0 and have done some character gen with people, and did a Zoom for one of Jamie's friends' birthdays. So built on each other. There was at least one thing each week, and it went pretty well, I'd say. I'm feeling better about tracking this than I was last year, and the bullet journal is definitely helping. And the last commitment under this or any heading is to progress my career, applying for jobs, work experience, that sort of thing. And I set myself in the bullet journal, one of my goals was to apply for 10 jobs, and I applied for 14, including at least one request to do some work experience, and it's a progress thing. It's getting there. I did that amount at least, and I'm just keeping on. And I did get a job interview over the course of January. I was unsuccessful. I was apparently pipped at the post, but hopefully that will lead to better things as we go on. And honestly, it was the boost that I needed. I was just kind of at a bit of a low point about all of this stuff. It was really dragging on me, but getting that interview really helped boost me up and make me feel a bit better about it all again. So, all that's left to say now is my plans for February. So, I've got my bullet journal for February ready already. I've done a bunch of prep for it, and it's all sorted out and ready to go. It's starting off with this 4 elements theme, and each week has a different element associated with it. So I started off with the cover page has got the things that Iroh said each element was associated with in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I've got this whole page with the different stuff to do with each element making up part of the title page. The calendar is just different coloured based on which element, and I've got my goals page, and then the first week is going to be Feathers in the Wind for air. The second week is fire, so these are all mythical creatures associated with the element of fire in some way, shape or form. So we've got a dragon, a phoenix, a salamander, an Efrit, a chimera, a hellhound, a demon, an Azer from D&D, a sort of fire dwarf, and a Basan, which is a fire-breathing chicken from somewhere in Asia. Then week 3 is Earth, so we've got ore from a mine, gems and stuff like that. Week 4 is is water, so it's a lot of sea creatures. I quite like all of them, apart from my seahorse, which does not look very good. And then week 5 is just the one day again, which is just some holes in the clouds, effectively. And then the monthly stats page is just kind of making it up. And my goals for this month are mostly the same as last month's, doing a couple of videos, reading some books, getting some work experience, but I was also wanting to do my creative project for this month, and it's one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I was meant to be doing a short film for university, but then COVID hit and everything kind of, all of that plan shattered into nothingness, realistically. So I'm wanting to get my short film made this month, or if not made, then at least progress its production again to the point that I can get it made pretty easily soon as. So those are my plans for this next month, and also how I've been getting on last month. I would love to know what your plans for February are and how you got on with your goals and everything in January. So let me know in the comments down below how you got on. Love to know, so down there. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails over there to see other videos by me, click on the link in the description down below to join my Discord, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!